A very good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to this webinar based on the topic values for life. And we all have shared different values that holds an important place in our lives and that has made us, taken us to heights wherever we are. Nonetheless, values are an essential part of our lives which we cannot live without. Right? So today we are going to learn about a lot of things about values, and I'm sure it will be wonderful if you would do all the activities with me and together learn a lot of things. These things will really help you. These things will really be able to, guide you and empower you in such a way that you can further help our children to do. Okay? A lot of things together. So talking about values are something that is for life. This is often on reiterated by CBSE also nowadays a lot. And we all as adults, we have this importance in our life of values. Now, what about these values? What are values is something we all are often on asking the children. And we conduct different activities, and we also have tests and curriculum based on to check the different values that our children have got, right? Values are deeply held beliefs and principles that guide a particular child's behavior, the mindset that the child will have, okay? And the sense of being right and wrong. Altogether, it contributes to values in our life. So when we talk about children and when we talk about teaching them different values, it is something that we are doing for their life. So it is very important how we do it and when we do it. Right? Aarti ma'am, you have raised your hand. I would just take questions after I finish. Okay, I hope it works. Otherwise, you could send a message in the chat box. Right? Going ahead. Where do we learn our values from? Now, we take values up through the process of socialization, which we all are well aware of, right? Through the process of learning values in our family, in the school, and with our friends. So when we are at home, we pick up values formally, informally, different people, interactions, engagements, occasions, a lot of things happen. So family is the key area from where we pick up values. Likewise, the children, they pick up values. When they come to school, right from the kindergarten up till grade 12th, this is the time where we particularly teach them values. And this is a specific subject itself. When the children are there with their friends, they pick up different social emotional skills, which helps in building their skill set. So the children pick up the values essentially through the process of socialization, through their family, through their school, and through their friends. What are the other ways through which these values can be inculcated in the students? Now we think that how it can be done. There are two simple processes which anyway happens. First, reinforcement, and the second, observation. Very important, right? When we talk about reinforcement, what are we talking about? How again and again may be good or may be bad. In both the ways, we are letting the child have some beliefs, have some mindset in him or her, which shapes their values. So when, for example, in the class, we appreciate the child, right? Through different stars or through that, the chart that we make for them, having their name against, okay, one more red star, one more golden star, we appreciate the child. Or when we let the other students clap, right? Or we give them certain titles. Or we just appreciate, we pat on the person's back and we say that, yes, you can, and you did. Or we just say in maybe the bad times, stay positive. So what are we doing? All these things are nothing but reinforcements. Yes, these are just the reinforcements that happen in the student's life. And the other thing which the children naturally pick up is observation. So even if we think that, the students are maybe not seeing, they will not know, but even the smallest thing that we do, the children make it up that, okay, maybe this is the way ma'am did, so this is how we are supposed to do. Simple things. If we are on time for our class, if we are punctual, our children will also be. Now, many a times in schools, we struggle with this problem that the students are coming late. There is a long line of the latecomers. In those times, what do? We need to model these values for our children. In this way, the students will also know that yes, it is something really important. And we need to have a value for time. Other simple things, if we are throwing things here and there, littering around, the children will pick that up. Right? So we need to model that. And children are the one, they are constantly observing what is happening and what not. So we need to be mindful of that. Right? Yet another powerful thing that we all need to remember is that our students, they have to be inculcated a group of values. So when we talk about the different type of values that we as educators should inculcate in our students, there are a range. But broadly put, they are moral values, cultural values, personal values, and social values. It can be all combined, it can be all segregated as per how you take it up in your different classrooms or various seminars or different competitions. But essentially, it remains these. So, the way the children pick up the ethics, what should be done in our life? How should we culturally relate? Is there any difference? And if there is a difference, how do we accommodate? Or do we just laugh it off? What are the personal values that the child is getting at the younger age or at teenage? Both stages are very crucial for their life because it is shaping their future. And the social life, the social engagements that the child will have an effect on the social values that he or she will have. Right? Now, what are the values that are important in today's world, according to you? Quickly, within 2 minutes, type in the chat box what are the values that you think are really important as teachers? Something that we really cannot overlook, something that shapes the child's future, something which will really affect their future if we do not teach that value to them. What is that value according to you? Come on, everyone, 2 minutes. Sympathy, honesty, integrity, okay? What about others? Discipline, humbleness, patience. Yes, so many of them, right? Punctuality, patience. Okay, humbleness, discipline, empathy, dedicated, respect. Yes, gratitude, moral values, sincerity. Yes, right? We all are very aware of the different values that are important and something which the children nowadays are very crucial that they have in themselves. Otherwise, it is an uphill task for them to figure out various things. Sensitivity, excellent. Yes, respect towards elders. So these are some important things which shouldn't be lost, right? We agree on that. Now, when we talk about future, we know that values are indeed invaluable. When we say invaluable, there are different things that make them invaluable. For example, values are guiding principles for our life. Even if we take small steps, even if we take bigger steps, these are the things that will guide us no matter what. We as teachers, we know that the students we are dealing with. They may be promoted to another class, they may shift their schools. We may not be there with them throughout. But at some point or the other, they should be able to manage their life better. They should be able to handle that. And how will that happen? If values are with them. Because these are the guiding principles which will automatically tell them that what is the good thing that we should have in life and what is its importance, even if nobody is there. Right? So these are the guiding principles. These are also ethics, that what is ethically right and what is ethically not right. For example, we come across situations where the students come to us complaining, ma'am, this boy told me some abusive word. Okay. And I did not start the conversation, only he started. So if they come up with problems like that, or there are certain explorations in the teenage, let's say. So this is where the ethics plays an important role, along with values. So if our children are very clear with the values, their ethics will be set right from the starting. And this will help them to progress in their future. Values also help our children to build resilience in them. Like I said, there will be times where our students may be alone. They may be facing problems which they might not feel comfortable to share, or at times they may juggle with multiple things in life. But what is the one thing that will keep them going? Values, the resilience in them. So that should be inculcated in the right way. And adaptability will come like that. Adaptability is whenever their environments change, whenever there is a sudden shift. So they are able to accommodate that. They are able to self-manage themselves. Again, if their values are in place, this will not be an issue for them. Positive impact is something which values help us to create no matter where we are. For example, if there is a student who is, let's say, in class 1, and he talks very nicely and softly to all the peers, what happens is, maybe instantly, say about in a week or few days, that student, that small student, comes in the notice of everyone he meets. Why? Because of certain values. And if suppose the same kind of a student, right, maybe in grade 9 or grade 10 is there, who's helping the other peers in academics, again, what will happen? That will be noticeable, because all of these are positive changes, positive impacts. Again, why does it happen? Because of the values, right? So no matter what the age, but the positive impact that it can create is enormous. So that is why values are so important. And when we talk about values, social, emotional learning, decision making, a framework, all of these things cannot be undermined. When we talk about values, it gives us a set of things that we are supposed to know. The certain decisions that we will take, we can base on the values. Something by which we cannot go wrong. Something that will help us in our social life. Again, no matter the age. If we are in our teenage, we know how we are supposed to do things. We know how we are supposed to communicate efficiently. So values are so important. And what can we say about values? Is it something that is helping our children to be future ready? Certainly, yes. The values are helping our children to be future ready. Right now, you mentioned about two types of values. One, which you think is very close to you because you resonate with that. And you mentioned about the value which you as teachers think is very important for the students for their future. Now, when we combine these two, so the essential values, let's say, these values are making our children future ready. And what is happening by that? These three things are happening. Like, because of the values, our children will know the skill set. What are the skills they need to pick up. And when we teach them, for example, there are life skill sessions, there are wellness sessions in the schools nowadays, because a lot of awareness are being created among the students. So the skills will be more along with academic knowledge. So when our students will, let's say, go to college or maybe, in their future careers, skills, the right knowledge and the values, when we combine all of them, it's a great combination. Potentially, we are preparing our children to situations where even if things are good, even if things are not so good, they will be able to handle themselves. Also, in their personal lives, they will be able to adequately balance their activities. A lot of students come with this issue that they're not able to manage time, or if they have lots and lots of pending work with them, they're not able to finish that. As a result, there is anger that's developed, or there is frustration. Also, there is procrastination. So a lot of things happen. It also affects their personal life, their personal health, their relations with others. So all of those things get disturbed. But when we teach the children the values, their personal life and all the things that they manage at their own end, let's say studies, because at the student life, study skills are essential. So they will be able to manage that effectively, and they will prioritize what is something that I'm supposed to do first and what can really wait, because our values are set right. Another thing that happens is collaboration. Our children, they will be future ready. They will be knowing how to collaborate with the peers, with the elders, with the other people. Because through learning different values and the skills and the practice that we give them through different activities in our classroom and beyond, they will have the social systems in place. At this level, they have friends, they have other classmates, they also have friends, or let's say other classmates from the different sections that they have. But at a later stage, the children, they will know how to build their networks also and the engagements, right? Now, what are the essential activities that you can try in your classrooms which will really help all of you? Now, when we talk about activities, these are some things which are very common. But if it happens again and again and very frequently, the effect that it can create is something which is beyond our control, right? And we all as teachers, we look forward to create that impact because we want our students to really do well in their life. So some things which you might try: storytelling. One of the traditional ways of imbibing values in the students, you can tweak it with the modernity by digital storytelling, right? So you can give a combination of two, oral and digital storytelling. This will really help our students. Take one value or mix two, maybe a combination of things that you want the children to learn, and accordingly plan your lessons. Role play is one of the fantastic ways which works the best with the middle school and the high school, because here we involve their mental capacities as well as their physical energy. They have to make their own roles and own choices, that what are the situations they are taking up, how they are going to make a play, how are they going to make a consequence out of that, and what is the value that they can tell their audience about. So role plays are actually fun, yet what they learn out of it, they will really remember that. Yet another thing that usually happens is informal way of teaching values to children. For example, starting from all the staff that we have in school that potentially interacts with our children verbally or non-verbally through observation, which we all have just seen. The children take on values. So informal ways are something which goes on even more. So we need to be mindful of what we are doing as adults. Based on the performance or performing part, our children learn the group dynamics. For example, if they are doing a particular competition or they are preparing for an assembly, if we ask all the children to participate, all the children, when they do a particular thing in groups, they will learn the dynamics of social skills, social values, what role communication holds, what is honesty in communication, how should we respect the other person's point of view, how should we understand the other person. So the children will be able to learn about all of this by working in different groups. Some other ways which you can try is community service. Now, community service is essential and it will really give them a sense of satisfaction if we involve our children to do small bits, whatever they can do. Yet, it will also build values in them. If we as educators, based on a particular theme, or if we are mixing different values, we take the children to field trips, maybe shorter trips, that will help the children to manage themselves better, build their capacities. Okay. Another strategy that you can try is reflection. Reflection works wonders. A lot of times we as teachers, we feel that we should do an activity and we should just wrap it up. But reflection is something we may miss. So instead of doing that, let's inculcate this practice also in our lesson planning. So whatever activity you're doing with your children, be it a 5 minutes activity, be it a 15 minutes activity, ask the children to write a reflection, maybe some pointers or maybe a short para. This will just, once again reiterate the value, the things, the insights that the students have got. They will be able to jot down the important things, and this will be nothing but a takeaway from them for them. So this is really effective. You also can try this for your own self. The seminars that you conduct, the seminars that you attend, you can write your insights, or the activities that you engage in as teachers. Write your reflections. These are nothing but your takeaways, and you will never forget them. Same like with students. Nowadays, important emphasis is laid on how you can integrate values with academics. This is an essential thing to do. And all the academic subjects that we have, we can offer some or the other value, some or the other space, and we can teach a value to the student based on the subject. And it really matters, because in this way, our students will know that when we are coming to school, when we are learning about different subjects, value education is not just another subject, not just a minor subject that we should learn or we may forget, but rather it is something so important that even in the academic subjects, it holds some priority. And all the teachers are talking about the same language, right? So academic involvement along with values is something very important. Some other ways by which you can have value education in your class is journal writing, right? Journal writing will help you to reflect on what have been the things that you were struggling with maybe, or the things that you learned. So this could be one of the effective strategies that you could try. Experiential learning is very important when it comes to lesson planning. So when you are planning your lessons, make sure that you are telling the children to do certain activities instead of just lecturing. Having them involved in different discussions, in debates, will really help them to learn values faster and to retain them longer. Right? Film appreciation is also something that you can try. So go for maybe shorter films that will really help you to cover up a particular value and also teach the value effectively in your classrooms. So this is also something that you can try. Some more ideas which you can try is value-based debate. So give them certain topics based on which you can divide the class into two and they can have a debate over the value that is being mentioned in the topic. So this is another powerful strategy. Yet another thing is kind letters. So when it comes to kind letters, we all want our students to be empathetic in nature, right? We want them to have empathy. We want them to be compassionate. So we have to really, tell the students that you should know how to respect the students or your peers or your elders. But what if we teach that through writing letters? That will also really help, right? So, writing kind letters, and then you can exchange. For example, if there's some student who is really dull a particular day, you can ask some other student to write a letter or a short note and then exchange that. That will also help, right? And peer peer mentoring is something that will also help the other students develop certain values. For example, if you know in your child, if you are able to identify in your class, if you are able to identify that my class, mostly the students are honest, so they can mentor others. If they are elders, they will be able to do that to the younger children. And this way, there'll be a whole school approach for value education, right? Guest speaker. Maybe you can call different teachers or, the guest speakers, and they can also have an interaction with the students. That will also help. So let's all together empower our students through values today and from today onwards in all the possible ways, right? Not even a single chance where it will be, just left. Okay? Let's try and do that. We have 1 minute, so I would take questions if there is any.
Madam,
Yes, yes, sir.
are you able to hear my voice?
Yes.
Nothing regarding discipline. Many students come late to the school.
Hmm.
Usually, we tell the effects in future that what they are going to face if they are late regarding the job and all. How that is not so much effective. How we have to make them high means disciplined
Hmm.
or regularity in coming to the school. What are the ways?
Okay. So first of all, we as teachers, when it comes to discipline, there is something that I would suggest: discipline with dignity, right? There are a lot
Okay.
of people which they are mentioning that it's very important to be regular, be punctual because of the future consequences. But if we have a good rapport with the students, and if we continuously, not one or two teachers, but as a school,